Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we actually got some really cool news. We have three epics, three really bad epics are finally getting some buffs in the upcoming patch. I want to show you this as well. You can see the giveaway thing is ticking up. There is a giveaway happening in my Discord channel right now, so if you want to enter the giveaway, throw a like on this video as you're going, but jump into my Discord channel. You can find the links in the description down below, and you simply just have to react with the celebration thing down here, and you're going to enter. It's open for 2 days, and yeah, there will be 5 winners who'll win 540 gems, 1 void shard, 1 epic tome, and you'll probably receive it like later next week, basically, whenever Plarium gets around to it. So make sure to jump over to the Discord and to enter that right there. Okay, right, let's go. So, who has been buffed? What is going on? What is going on? Well, the first champion who is getting buffed is Lady Attessa. Just an absolutely awful champion in the game right now. She has, right now in game, 25% chance of block buffs on her A1. She has a 50 bucks to 75% chance to stun on an A2. And then she has an ally attack with 2 random allies that does 10% more damage if the target is under stun. What is being changed with her? I think this is one of probably the weakest one of these champions that's being buffed. But a little confusing here. This is actually her A1, Blessed Missile. She's now going to have a 40% chance to place block buffs on her A1. Still pretty rubbish. Her A2, though, is now going to have a 75% chance to place a stun. And when you include books with that as well, it's basically a 3-turn cooldown when booked, single target, 100% chance to stun. Honestly, it's still pretty weak, to be honest. It's not great, but it's better than it was before. At least she's going to be a lot more reliable. And then her ally attack, slightly improved here as well. It's still with 2 random allies, still the same cooldown. But you're now going to do 20% more damage if the target's under fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, or petrification debuffs. So that's actually a decent bit better. I still think it's fairly poor, but if you do have champions like Inquisitor Shamail, who's going to be putting out AoE fears potentially, if you've got champions like Biffold, who's putting out the AoE provoke, it's a little bit better. Honestly, she was trash before. I think she's still pretty trash now, to be honest with you, but she's a little bit better. I would maybe consider leveling her up to 50. She'd be okay at level 50 for Faction Wars if you need her. I doubt you would ever take her to 60 even still, but she's not completely, absolutely horrendously awful anymore. I think she's just pretty bad. So yeah, she's a little better. Thank God for that. Right, the next champion we're getting buffed is actually quite exciting. You probably don't even know what these champions do, guys. So this is Tashada. Right now, she gives herself increased attack. If she crits, she scales off defense and attack as well, but her base attack sucks, right? So this increased attack feels pretty bad. Her A2, 3 hits at random, that has a chance to weaken, guaranteed to weaken when she crits, and then she has a revive if she kills an enemy, and she can only use this move, I believe, when an ally is dead. So she's really wonky, really wonky. What is being changed with her? This one is actually pretty exciting, especially for newer players. So her A1 is now going to scale off of defense, and it doesn't require crit. It's just she has a 50% chance of giving herself increased defense for 2 turns. So very simple, the A1, damage based off defense, and it's just a 50-50 that she gives herself increased defense. I don't believe that's going to scale. Yeah, it's not going to scale with books. She's just going to do more damage. And she's got really good base defense, actually. So that's nice. Her A2, again, is now going to just do damage based on defense. It is still 3 hits at random, but each hit now, 75%. That does book to 100% chance of placing weaken for 2 turns. So a nice improvement there as well. No reliance on crit. It's just going to be, when it's booked out, 3 hits at random that place weaken. Okay. Better. Not amazing, but better. But now this is what's really good. Spirit Appeasement no longer requires killing an enemy to revive. She just has a revive. Revives an ally 40% HP, 40% turn meter, and heals all allies by 15% of their max HP as well. It books up with up to 20% bonus healing right there. That's a big improvement. She actually has a 3-turn cooldown revive, guys, if this is the same. A 3-turn cooldown single target revive that then does an AoE heal for your team. She's going to keep herself alive with increased defense and good tanky base stats. Good chance for increased defense on her A1. providing some weaken debuffs as well. She does have 20% speed aura in faction crypts. I actually think this is the biggest buff of this little mini buff patch right here. I think this is really nice. Now, of course, it's barbarians. You get Seal of the Drakes in this faction. But yeah, I think she's kind of worth building. Like, if you get her early on, she's really going to help out your barbarians. And then even when you get Syl, you put her in with Syl, and it's really going to speed your run up. You know, you've got War Maiden providing AoE decreased defense. She's going to provide weakens. She's going to be super survivable. She's going to keep your team standing, even when you get Syl, if you don't have the best gear for Syl. Very useful aura for the faction crypt. I think she's actually really solid. It's a really good revive on a 3-turn cooldown. So Tashada, I actually think she's pretty decent now. I mean, she's not like an amazing endgame epic, not at all, of course, but for early mid-game players, she seems actually like a pretty solid champ. 3 hits at random too. It's going to be good against Fire Knight. She's actually not bad against Fire Knight. She will try stay alive, heal your team up, triple hit her to try knock down that shield. It's not bad. Not bad. And then finally, we're going to have buffs to Durang. Durang was probably the best one of these 3 before. Though he's not considered very good. He doesn't really see much play at all. But Durang, as he is now in game, he ignores defense on his A1. His A2, double hitter that has a 75% chance to stun. And then he has a triple hitter at random that has a 75% chance of putting decreased attack, decreased defense, and speed in dungeon. So a lot of random stuff, like he just might not land these debuffs, he might not land the stun, very random. And that's really what's being improved, right? It's going up to a 75 bucks to 100% chance to stun, and this is the best part, 75 bucks to 100% chance of placing decreased attack and decreased defense. This is actually really good, and this is really helpful for Lizardmen, actually. You're going to have a champion that now has a guaranteed stun on his A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. Not an amazing move, but it's okay, right? He's going to do good enough damage on his A1, and then these triple hitter at random is now going to actually be pretty good at spreading out the decreased attack, the decreased defense. There is a Lizardman epic only secret room. He's going to be useful for that. He's going to be actually very helpful for faction wars, especially against that Lizardman boss who hits you really hard. Placing decreased attack on that boss is very helpful, and the decreased defense is going to help you to clear through it as well. I think he's actually pretty decent now. Like, decreased defense is something the Lizards really lack. They have no AoE decreased defense in the epics, unless I've missed something. And even among the legend, I mean, you need to pull a Draco morph to get it, you know? So I actually think he's quite helpful. You'll probably be sticking him in with Razin fairly early on. Stick in a Broadmaw. And yeah, then maybe stick in some more supports if you get them. Jizzo's actually decent champion now as well. So I think it's a pretty good mix. I think we got a pretty good mix here in the Lizardman. Jarang's buff, again, he's not some insane endgame epic, but he's a pretty solid one. Also, again, somewhat okay for Fire Knight. He's the wrong affinity, unlike Tashada, for stage 20, so that's not as helpful. But that triple, this is a good move against Fire Knight. This is at least a double hitter. It's not bad. The speed in dungeons aura is good. So, yeah, again, none of these are top tier epics, guys. None of them are top tier epics. They're not going to be like, wow, it's the new Geomancer. It's nothing like that. They're all still fairly low tier epics. They're kind of like Faction War Secret Room only sort of epics. Or, you know, in your first, 6 to 8 months of playing, perhaps they could be decent enough. But they're certainly improved. I think Lady Attessa still kind of sucks. Jarang is quite good. And yeah, Tashada ain't bad either. I mean, you definitely can take all of these champs now to 50, and they're going to do a job in Faction Wars, and then you can replace them with something better down the line. But yeah, not bad. Let me know what you think. Did you know what any of those epics did before? Did you know any of their kits before, or was it a complete mystery? Yeah, don't forget about the giveaway. It's ticking up there as it goes. And yeah, have a great time, guys. Come check out the Deadwood Jedi stream later today. I'm going to be competing here in Hydra tonight. It's the finale of the faction games, and it all comes down to this in terms of who wins. So I've got to use a Knights Revenant only team for Hydra. It's going to be spicy. I'll see you all there. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.